Trezeguet or Ravanelli? I can't. I just can't. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel, I hope you're all doing well. Look at that special background for, I hope, a special video. Totally different, because I want to answer question, taking a bit of my time to answer your question, and you were super kind to ask them. For the people that said, Beppe, where, what question? Well, a few days ago, for the members of the channel, I posted something in the community tab, and it was called GJUSTASK. Ask whatever you want, random question about the team, about the past, about private life, about Juventus as a worker, what does it feel? Whatever you could, and you did. So thankful for that, I'm really grateful. During a lot of lives, well, I see so many questions, I not always have the time to see them, to read them, or even to answer them. Or sometimes it's really strange, because you're asking right after a defeat 4-1 against Empoli. Beppe, what is your favorite car? Ragazzi, not always is the right time to answer these questions. Anyway, I picked some of the questions, not all of them, but the most interesting ones, and I will answer them. We start with the first one, interesting one, from Mariontus. Mario Mandzukic. I need to be careful because I'm sure that it's one of your favorite player. Anyway, has not been my favorite player ever. I respected Mario, and there are some things that I liked really from him. It was his will of sacrificing for the team before himself. And that's something that, of course, sometimes we are missing. After his departure, I would have loved to have more of these kind of players. That's what I miss from Mandzukic. But that's the beautiful thing, what I remember for Mario, even if he was a really beautiful and great striker, but also negative thoughts when I'm thinking about Mario, the number 17 of Juve, that bicycle kick in the final in Cardiff. Well, every time I'm thinking about Mario, I'm going back to Cardiff. I will never forget it. Fantastic goal, but unfortunately we lost 4-1. So double feeling when I'm thinking about Mario, but you know it, when I'm putting the name of a player on a shirt, it means that he entered, in a way, my heart. And look at that. Look at this shirt. You can guess it quite easy. Mario Mandzukic with a 17. So it's a player that, of course, entered my heart. We go with the second question, the one of Kamaboko, that is speaking about the past and what could have been. He believes, Kamaboko, that last season we could have won the treble. I am not a person that is thinking too much about what could have been. They played together, the three of them. With Pirlo, we won a Supercoppa, we won a Coppa Italia. I will always be grateful for that. Not the best season of Dybala, unfortunately, due to injury, but they did it. They tried. Winning the treble, I don't believe. It's not only three players that can do the difference. I will be grateful, but as every single player, I don't miss player like Mandzukic in the first part, and now these three players. We write, or they write, a page in the history book of Juventus, sometimes more than a page, sometimes even a chapter, and we are lucky. We need to be grateful for what they give, but then you have to turn that page and thinking about the next player. Be grateful also for who you have, what you have, appreciate them. Look, Angel Di Maria, not the right time, but I try to appreciate whatever he's doing. And I'm dreaming also about who will arrive, who will write history. Fagioli maybe, who knows. Well, Saif, I will tell you something. No, I never get burned out about supporting Juve, a team like Juve. Because a team like Juve, it's in my heart. Since I'm a kid, I always loved Juve, I will always love it. For me, I repeat and I remind people, it's only 2 years that we are trophyless. Only 2 years. We come from 10 years of winning at least something that will never be repeated in Italian football. I am supporter of Juve thanks to my father. Thank for that. It was a casualty. I didn't support Juve because it was a winning team. I supported because my father was a Juventino. Luckily, we win a lot, but imagine, with all the respect, that you are a supporter of Bologna, Spal, Leicester, Leeds, or whatever. Guys, they are enjoying victory in a different way, and I respect the supporters of these teams. We are lucky. We have to consider our lucky. It's not the first time that Juventus has a difficult moment, not only post Calciopoli, but even before. We had some difficult times, and in difficult times I love my team even more because I know what it is to suffer, and don't forget, it can happen to every single team. Milan, Inter, that are big teams in Italy, they just come from 10 years of banter football, where they were really out of every competition. They didn't have a beautiful ownership, they didn't have a beautiful team, they had difficulties, it happened to every team. Do we have to accept it? No, we are Juventus, we need more, we want more. But these moments also happen in football. I'm a big fan of cinema. Since a kid, since I am young, if I have the opportunity to go to the movie, I enjoy it. And I'm lucky because my wife and also my son, they love that, and we have a common passion together with the three of us. But since a kid, I'm watching every kind of movies. I love them. But you know what's the difference with the past? Today we have Netflix, Amazon Prime, we have Disney Plus, Apple TV, we have the television. We have so many things that sometimes we don't appreciate anymore because of the offer. The offer is too much, too big. And sometimes it's also something that I'm linking with football. The offer is so big that you can't enjoy these moments anymore. But cinema is one of my big passion. I always play it on the left side of the field. When playing in a 4-3-3, my coach, in the beginning, he put me as an offensive player in that 4-3-3, inverted player on the left because I'm a right foot player, so I always had to come back centrally to or go on target or go with a cross. But then probably it was the family of Max Allegri because he decided one day to put me as a left back because I was really fast and in possession I can overlap. It is what it is, guys. I tell you the truth. Some players in interviews, they are always saying when you arrive at Juve, you can feel the difference. You can feel that it's a professional word, that there are a lot of expectation because you are at Juve. I never worked for other clubs. I worked for Juve, and I have to tell that yes, you feel that you are at Juventus. But it's not Juventus that is putting you the pressure or the stress. Never they said me, you have to say this, you can't say this. I'm quite free. But the pressure, I put it on myself because I think that even if I'm not changing the world, I'm just doing Twitch, that I have a kind of responsibility working for Twitch, representing the club in the moments that I am live, but also after my life when I have my own YouTube channel or when I'm writing something on Twitter. Yes, you feel the pressure because I want to do the best I can. When I prepare a watch along, I'm really studying the game before. When I'm doing an interview with a player, I'm really working for it. But it's not because Juve asks you to do. It's because I am like that since I am a child, but also because I feel honored, privileged, and I don't want to disappoint any Juventino. So I believe that the pressure and the stress, I'm putting it myself more than Juve is putting it to me, but you feel that you work for Juve. Maric, what is your favorite club after Juve? Well, I believe in supporting one club only. And for me, it's only Juve for me. It's true that through my journey, at a certain moment, I said, you know what, maybe it would be fun to support another club. I traveled a lot. I went to Sevilla, I went to Madrid, and every time I was saying, you know, let's try to support a team that you love the city, and it has always been difficult. So I never chose really another team until this season, where casually I thought again about the youth club I was playing for, RWDM in Belgium. They were in second division, and I started to go to the games live because it's not that far from where I'm living. And I have to admit that I like, you know, that small club mentality. Also to see the difference between one that is competing to be first, to win, and another one that is actually, again, in a renaissance, in a rebirth. And I really love that also, that atmosphere of the small club. So RWDM from Molenbeek, that's the team that I like also, but supporting, it's Juve. I had the opportunity again to travel a lot in Europe, and every city is particular. I really appreciate Roma, Firenze, as cities in Italy. Torino is really charmful, it's really nice. Other than Italy, I love London. London is really one city that is here in my heart. And then the country that I would love to visit is Japan. I would love to go to Japan, and if I still have the opportunity, if I can ask, but I would love to go to New York and also to Brooklyn to meet a lot of friends from USA. I would love to. There are some studies reported, leaked from journalists, that said that this year, more than a lot of seasons, players asked to speak with the psychologist of Juve. So it had an impact. And you can see it with stats, the after point deduction, points received back, point deducted again. You can see the result. Yes, it had an impact. Now, it is not an excuse for the season we had, but on top of a lot of internal problems, this one absolutely didn't help. So yes, it had. The top 5 jersey from Jose. I can't answer that one in that video, it would be too long, but it's something that if you want to, let me know in the comment. It's something that I really want to take my time to do that, especially now that I have a bit more space and maybe I can do it with some shirts. So let me know in the comments. Next one from Bobo. How much time do I spend daily basis on the channel, and what was the reason you became a Juventino? Well, reason why I became a Juventino was because of my father, casuality, long story, but mainly because of Papa, and how much time I spent. Too much. Biggest goal is being happy. That's why my son is called Felice. Felice in Italian means happy. I really believe in being happy. It's important more than anything. If we are speaking about related about the channel, well, one day being able to live from it would be fantastic. But why? Because I would love to continue to offer diversity, different things, more in depth, more professional, you know, having a real studio. Yeah, I would love to be not only able to speak about the lawyer problems, the court problems, or mercato, but that really people are interested. Every single Juventino or football fan that can become Juventino thanks to my channel, well, this is what I would love. Not in target about numbers or so on. Of course, I am a competitor and I would love to have more numbers, more views, but hardworking, being proud of myself and being happy. I already spoke about that a lot of time, but I would go back in time speaking about the way I watched football when I was a kid, living in Belgium. It was not like today with all the offer and the possibility to watch on television. So I remember I went in front of the television like 15 minutes before, and I put, you know, that teletext, that televideo. And it was like an app of whatever, one football or whatever. And you are waiting, and I was waiting in front of the television, waiting just that the score was changing from 0-0 to 1-0 for Juve with the name of the goal scorer. I remember still today the numbers on the television that you had to push to watch and the different games. So it was a different way of watching football. But I remember that I spent so many time, and even back then, even if it was on television, I said to my parents, no, I don't go out because there is Juventus that plays. And then I was waiting until 6 p.m. to watch the recap of the games. Strange times, different times. Ricardo, arancina or arancino? For the people that do not know, I will try to put a picture of it, but it's something that you eat in Sicily, especially where I am from in Sicily. It's arancina with an A. Not arancino, but I know that it's a big debate. Philip Rosada. Ciao G, my question is, what was your first car? See, speaking about cars. And what is your dream car? Are you into cars? I tell you the truth, I don't care about cars. I never have been really attracted by cars as long as it's driving. My first car was a red Peugeot that I received, but it was a really old one that I received from my parents. I could ride with it, and then the first one I bought myself with my money was the first Mini Cooper when it went out years ago, what I was really proud about. But at the end I was taking so much the train, the bus, and things like that at the end I gave it. My fathers were driving with my car, and then my wife. But I enjoyed that car. Now, if I have a dream car, I always loved the Jeep Wrangler, not because Juve is sponsored by Jeep, but Jeep Wrangler. But I will probably never be able to buy it. But again, I don't care. I really don't care about cars. Well, I tell you the truth, I'm not an expert about tactics. I am not, these kind of guys that are playing with my... But I really love tactics. I coached young players from under 13 for 2-3 years, I believe. And I really enjoyed the tactics, the way of understanding football. I'm not an expert, but when I had that change of mentality, the first time I went to a game and I watched live the game, and I said it's totally different than on television. And what I'm watching to understand what I love, what I don't love, and again, football is totally subjective. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. But the non-possession, the movement of the player without the ball is something that is always part of how I judge. Then today I have the luck to work for Juve. I have access to a lot of stats that I can follow, that I can see. I love to compare my feeling, my heart, my eyes, and then also with stats. And then trying to find an explanation about how. But not only how they are touching the ball, the skills, the dribble, the offensive part, but I try to analyze 360 to form myself an idea. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I'm wrong, but that's how I do, and I really love it more and more and more. My father was a role model in terms of we come from a really modest family, never had a lot of money. We had my father and my mother, they had 4 kids. So someone that I was really looking up to. One day I heard that he was earning so much. He was working 6 on 7, working at night, 11 years. During the night, so I didn't see my father a lot, but he was working hard to make sure that we were missing nothing. And that was my role model in terms of work ethic. But I think that it's not enough to have one role model. Through my life, I went to different role models, who I liked, who not, and trying to pick the best of everyone. And you know what motivates me the most today? I try to be the best role model for my son, but also people that are in contact with me. That's what motivates me today, saying I want to be a role model. Not that I'm acting as I am better than you or not, but sometimes when I think, okay, I would love that someone tells me I look up at you. The one that I always start my day with are two, are Colpo Gobbo and Romeo Agresti, because he's someone that is really professional, it's his job, it's my friend, and also Colpo Gobbo because he gives another version of the same topics. I love Kinoshi for the intelligent things, and he's turning it in a fun part. I really love Kinoshi, but one that I really appreciate is Davon 23. I will try to put them also under the screen, the name of the YouTuber. I believe that with these ones, you are safe. And then, of course, Juventus is Juventus. You have so many great people there, and a mix of professional that is just fantastic. Ronaldo Prime or Adriano Prime? If you're speaking about R9, even if he was at Inter, Ronaldo Prime without hesitation, even if Adriano Prime was fantastic. But anyway, Ronaldo was Ronaldo. Pirlo or Zidane? Really difficult choice, mamma mia. Pirlo, Zidane, they played both at Juventus. I would go for Zidane because Zidane is Zidane, but Pirlo is Pirlo, mamma mia. I would just go for Zidane, but it's really hard. Kaká or Ronaldinho? Well, Ronaldinho. I told you, Kaká was fantastic, but Ronaldinho, playing with a smile, incredible. He changed, I believe, also the way of football. I remember there was a game, FIFA Street, with him on the cover. Ronaldinho. Trezeguet or Ravanelli? I just can't. David Trezeguet. Fabrizio Ravanelli. I'm sorry, this one I can't. One is the one that brought me the Champions League with a goal scored against Ajax. The other one is my favorite non-Italian player, so calma. Baggio or Platini? Baggio did much more for Italian football, but Platini for Juve. I believe it was even a better number 10 than Del Piero. For me, look at I don't know if you're able to see it, but Michel Platini is Michel Platini. Cristiano Ronaldo or Messi? Cristiano Ronaldo, even if I appreciate the way that Messi is playing football as well. And the last question, Dr. Wills. We have difficult days and less difficult one. What is the most difficult one and how you arrive to overcome it? It's a really interesting one, and I want to finish with that question. Yes, life is not always beautiful. You have sometimes difficult moments. If I'm speaking about the difficult moment that we have about football, I can really feel when we are losing, the sadness, the anger, the frustration. Then I go to bed, and then I wake up, and I always try to see the beautiful things, the positive things, the next thing. That helps me a lot to see the next thing. It happened, learn about it, and then you go again with positivity. That's one. If you're speaking about the difficult things that happen to me as a content creator, I believe that as a content creator, you need to be open for criticism. People will not, all of them, love you. People will even hate you. They will criticize you, and I believe it's part of the game. And I appreciate also sometimes when you're saying me, or even always when you're saying this is not okay, I don't like you, I don't want to watch your channel, because it's open criticism and I want to become better. So I learn from it. What I don't appreciate is when you have sincerely bad persons that are intentionally watching you, looking you, following you on Twitter, social media, your channel, but intentionally they are there to find a way to hurt you. This is sometimes things that are really difficult to digest, because you're asking yourself, why? I don't understand it. Why are people so bad? But that's the only thing. Other than that, and even that, then you think about the positive part, because that's how I love to finish. If you have a small percentage of these people, how many great people are there on the world, but especially here on the channel, the Juventini of the world. Ragazzi, that was it for me. It was not easy at all. It was absolutely not easy at all, because I'm not used to it. I want to move more, but I can't. I need to understand the space I have. I hope you enjoyed that, a moment where we went from A to Z, from Z to B, to B to D. But I hope you enjoyed the way I did it, and that we can do it again. If you want to, we can do it again in 1 month, 2 months, in 3 months. Let me know in the comments. Maximum of like if you did, if you liked it. Otherwise, no. Grazie, forza, Juve.